Joseph's coat of many colors. Jacob and Leah and their family settled down in the land of Canaan. The house of Israel had many animals to look after. Their 12 sons had to take them to many different places to find grass. Well, not all 12 sons. Joseph, the first baby that Rachel had, was his dad's favorite. Jacob always treated Joseph best of all. The other brothers didn't like that one bit. Joseph wasn't very kind to his brothers either. Jacob gave Joseph a very nice coat. It had pretty colors and long sleeves, and it was much nicer than the clothes the other brothers had. Sometimes Joseph would show off his fancy coat just to get the brothers angry. Joseph had dreams, and he loved to tell his brothers all about them. And he loved thinking of what dreams meant. In those days, people thought dreams could tell you what was going to happen. Guess what I dreamed last night, Joseph said. Guess what I dreamed last night, Joseph said one day. I dreamed that we were all working in a field tying bundles together. All your bundles came and bowed down to my bundle. I suppose, snapped one of the brothers, that means someday you're going to be our boss. That's right, laughed Joseph. Jacob even made his father angry. I had a dream in which the sun and the moon and 11 stars bowed down to me. Are you trying to tell us that you will be the boss over me, your mother, and all your brothers? Jacob growled. One day, all the brothers except Joseph had taken all the animals far away from home to find grass. They had been gone for a long time. Old Jacob worried about them. Go and find your brothers, Jacob said to Joseph. Find out if they're all right and come back and tell me. It was a long walk for Joseph to find his brothers. When they saw him coming in his bright new coat, they felt angry. Here comes the dreamer, they said. He thinks he's so smart. Let's fix him. The brothers grabbed Joseph and tore off his fancy coat. Then they threw him into a deep hole. Some of the brothers wanted to kill Joseph. Radin, the oldest brother, said no. Just then they saw some people coming along. They were traders who buy things from one person to sell things to somebody else. The traders even sold slaves. A slave is a person who belongs to somebody, the way you might own a cat or dog. So the brothers went up to the traders and said, "Would you like to buy a slave cheap?" They sold Joseph to the traders, who took him to a faraway country called Egypt. Now what will we tell father? The brothers wonder. Let's tell father a wild animal killed Joseph. And said one of them. So they killed one of the sheep and put the blood all over Joseph's coat and tore holes in the coat. When they got back home, they showed Joseph's torn and bloody coat to Jacob. Old Jacob just cried and cried and cried. Nothing the brothers did make Jacob stop crying. The brothers knew they had done a terrible thing. Joseph helps the Pharaoh. Joseph walked for many, many days. The traders made him walk along behind their camels. If he walked a bit too slow, one of the traders would hit him hard. Joseph was very afraid, but he didn't know where he was going or what would happen to him. The traders took him to another country, a country called Egypt. There, the traders sold him to one of the rich people. Egypt. There the traders sold Joseph to one of the rich people. Joseph worked very hard. He tried to be a very good slave. Joseph not only worked hard, he also knew about dreams. When he was at home, Joseph often understood his own dreams. Here in Egypt, he helped people understand what their dreams meant. One day, the king of Egypt asked Joseph to help him understand some dreams. The king of Egypt was called the Pharaoh. He had a dream about 7 cows, said the Pharaoh. They were very nice fat cows. Then 7 thin, ugly cows came along and ate the nice fat ones. Then the Pharaoh told him about a second dream. 7 bunches of grains growing on one plant. They were strong, fat bunches of grain. Then 7 thin, dried up bunches of grain came and ate up the 7 fat ones. Tell me, Joseph, said the Pharaoh, what do my dreams mean? I'm not sure, said Joseph, but God will help me understand what your dreams mean. Then I will tell you. So Joseph asked God for help. Then he told the Pharaoh both dreams meant the same thing. For 7 years, all the plants and animals will go very well in Egypt. There will be lots of food for everyone. In fact, there will be more food than you can eat. After that, for 7 years, there will be hardly any food, and plants and animals will not grow because there won't be any rain. It'll be a famine. Oh dear, said the Pharaoh, what shall we do? Find someone who can help put away food during the 7 years, then everything will go very well, said Joseph. Then they will have enough to eat during the 7 years where there isn't enough food. That's a good idea, said the Pharaoh. And you do you know who I'm going to put in charge of all this? No, said Joseph. You, said the Pharaoh. I want you to go all over Egypt. I want you to ask people to put away some of the food away during the 7 good years, and then they will have enough to eat during the 7 bad years. The Pharaoh's dream came true, but just as Joseph said it had. People didn't know what to do with it. Then, for 7 years, the famine came. Plants and animals died because there was no rain. People were glad that Joseph had asked them to put some food away. Even though there was a famine, they still had something to eat. Joseph and his brothers. The famine is happening all over. Joseph and the people of Egypt had enough to eat, but the other countries' people were starving. Far away in Canaan, Joseph's brothers and sisters and his father, Jacob, had hardly anything to eat. One day, Jacob and his sons, I hear there's a lot of food in Egypt. Let's take some of the donkeys and go to Egypt to see if you can buy any food. So 10 of the brothers left for Egypt. Benjamin didn't go because he was the youngest. His father was worried that Benjamin might get hurt on such a long trip. When the brothers got to Egypt, they asked, "Where can we buy food?" Go and see the person who takes care of the food, they were told. Of course, the brothers didn't know that it was Joseph. When they had sold Joseph to the traders many years before that, they didn't think they'd ever see him again. Um, Joseph knew his brothers right away. Joseph was very surprised, but he didn't say anything. He was glad to see his brothers, but Joseph was still angry at them for selling him to the traders. Joseph felt both angry and happy. He was all mixed up inside. I think you are spies, Joseph said. Oh no, said the brothers. We're just 10 brothers who come to buy food. We're not spies. If you are brothers, what is your father's name? Our father's name is Jacob. He's living in Canaan. Joseph was happy to hear his father was still alive. He had to stop talking for a while, and he turned away from his brothers. He didn't want them to see tears in his eyes. After, are there any other members of the family? Joseph asked. There's one more brother, Benjamin, but he is too young to come with us. Any others? Joseph was feeling angry now. Well, no, there was another brother, but he died. What do you mean, he died? Joseph was very angry. His brothers just stood there. They didn't know what to say. They were afraid to say that they had sold their brother to the slaves. Jacob could see their faces. If his brother of his brothers that he was really, really sorry for what they had done. I am Joseph, your brother, he said. The brothers couldn't believe it. It didn't seem possible. Then they felt afraid. If it's really Joseph, they thought, he would be very angry at us for what we did to him. Don't be afraid, said Joseph. I think God wanted me to be in Egypt. God wanted me to help people so they won't starve. Thanks God, said Rabin, the oldest brother. Thanks God, said the brothers, started hugging. Joseph and Jacob were hugging and hugging all over. Then all of them were crying. Finally, Joseph blew his nose and said, Go back to Canaan. Bring father and Benjamin and the whole family here to Egypt. It's a nice place where you can live. There's lots of food in Egypt. The end.